Something I'm learning that has been my biggest struggle my entire life is acknowledging and accepting my spiritual gift for what it is. And I can just remember as early as I can remember always feeling like I'm a chosen one, always feeling like God has chosen me to do some type of spiritual work. And for years I've shunned away from this side of me. I've ran from it because my spiritual gift is I can see things very much very much deeper than surface level. I can read people. I can see certain things that later happen. And for a while I ran from this because for one, it's not all peaches and cream. It sounds cool. It sounds like, oh my gosh, you're a psychic, and I used to call it that. And I had to realize it's not a psychic because psychics predict things. They predict the future. Um, they don't go based off of actual feeling that God has put on you. And when I realized that it's not that I'm psychic, it's not a fortune teller. It's actual insight that God is giving me. Um, it's not psychic, and it's been a struggle because again, it's not all peaches and cream. It's not this magical thing that just helps you, see the future and things like that. No, there's bad sides to it. And over the years, when you mature more and you mature in your spirituality and you get closer with God, and you start to see your level of this spiritual gift grow. um Certain things happen, and you get scared because you don't want to know these things about people. You don't want to be able to see these things because, again, there's certain situations that happen that make you feel delusional. It makes you feel like you're evil, because you feels like you predicted the future. It feels like you made certain things happen. So, for example, um, growing up, and the more the years went on, my spiritual gift has grown to where there have been people in my life, people close to me, people close to people I knew, and I started to have dreams. And these dreams weren't the prettiest. They weren't cupcakes and rainbows. These dreams were people passing away. These dreams were about people's health being horrible, and them being hospitalized, them being in car accidents. These dreams were of people in bad scenarios, and I just assumed they were dreams. And it wasn't until these dreams came to pass, and you think that you're the one that caused it instead of just understanding that you just had insight on it. And again, when you had this gift of just seeing, like, again, I would have dreams of people close to me passing, people close to me getting in car accidents, getting wounded by guns, stuff like that. And I would check on these people, come to find out, you know when I check on them, they're in the hospital because they've been shot. um Come to find out, these people that I've had dreams of passing, come to find out they pass. And I write them down. I write down these words I get from God of what I believe is going to happen, what I feel like he's calling onto me. And just looking back at all the things that I write down, and then seeing that it actually comes to pass, it's scary because you're hard on yourself, because you believe that you can fix what's supposed to happen and you can change it. And again, when it comes to people passing away, you're hard on yourself because I don't know if anybody knows this, but when you have a spiritual gift like this, God doesn't allow for you to, well, in my case, personally. God never allowed for me to tell those people their fate and tell those people their future. Um, when it comes to death specifically, and it just causes you to be hard on yourself and blame yourself because you think like, God, why couldn't I have told them, that was coming? Why couldn't I help them and tell them don't get into that car, or you know um don't go to that party, don't go outside today, you should take the day off, don't go to work today, you know and the more that the the gift of seeing people pass away, the more that grew, the more I ran from it. And the more I ran from it, it chased me down. And I would see it 10 times more. And I'm just accepting that this is a gift to where I can sit with someone for 5 minutes and I can tell them things about their childhood that only them and God would know. Um, I bring up relatives of theirs that say certain things that only that relative said to them. They never told anybody that, and they question like, how do you know that? And I question myself, how do I know that? And it makes me feel evil again. It makes you feel like, no, this is the devil's work because how would I know that? And it just takes a while to get yourself to understand that if this gift is not going away and it's been like this since I was a child, then it's not a curse because I used to call it a curse. I used to call it, somebody put a hex on our family. Somebody put, a curse on me through my family, through my lineage. I would look back at the generations before me and say, like, I'm the only one that's like this. And then, it just puts you in a hole. It makes you feel alone. And it makes you question if you're delusional. It makes you question if you have mental disorders. And it's so much easier to say, oh, I have a mental disorder and I need medication than to just acknowledge that you are on a different level of consciousness. You see things that no one sees, and it's so strong that I feel like I see figures that people don't see. I'm in the dark and I actually hear voices that aren't there. I actually, and it's for a while I assumed it was just a mental disorder, but God just keeps reminding me through that because that's an easy way of going about it. Is saying, "Oh, this is just a mental disorder. Me hearing voices, that's probably schizophrenia, something, And I'm learning that it's not. It's not. It's not a mental disorder. It's been like this since I was a child. Um, just seeing certain seeing certain things that no one understands and just being called crazy like that. That's a little wild for you to think like that. How do you know that? Like that's you need to get some help. Maybe you have this, maybe you have that, and just looking back at no one understanding me, you feel alone because you feel like, why am I the only one that can see certain things? And there was a time where, 2 years ago, where I would see figures a lot. I would see figures a lot. And I used to think, oh, it's because my iron's low. It's because I'm tired. It's because, and no, that was a year specifically that God was showing me things. Um, but I would see figures a lot, and that was a year that I would see people passing away a lot. And it's like every year is like a new upgrade of the gift. Like last year, I would feel past relatives, things they would say that, again, no one else would know but those people. I would tell people that, your mom said this. Is there a certain item that your father gave you before he passed away? Certain things that I would know that no one else would know. And I say all this to say, don't be scared of your spiritual gifts. Don't be scared if you see things. If you hear things, if you have certain voices that talk to you, you just hear the 1,000 voices that no one hears. Um, you see people passing, you see people in trouble. Um, you hear certain conversations that have been had between people that only they had. Like, you just had these certain gifts. Don't be scared of it. And it doesn't even have to be that specific gift, but whatever gift you have, it's unique, and understand that it's designed like that for a reason, and acknowledge it and really appreciate it, because the more you try to run from it, the more that you're going to find yourself stuck. You're going to find yourself running from yourself. And the more you run from yourself, a piece of you is going to chase you down, and it's going to crave and yearn for that comfort of yourself again. It's just going to be way more um things revealed when you try to run from it, rather than just accepting it for what it is. Because when you run from it, you're going to see more people passing away. You're going to have more visions, you're going to have more dreams that you want to push away, but you can't. And I used to blame God, and I used to, have a rocky relationship with God, because I would question, why do you keep doing this to me? I don't want to be the reason why this person passes away. I don't want to be the reason why this person, you know, is hospitalized. I don't want to tell this person something that I feel like their mother said to them. Their mother has passed away. I don't want to tell these people certain things that I know about them since childhood. Um, certain things that they've done in their life that they didn't tell anybody. Certain things that they wrote in their diary that I've read word for word, and I've never seen their diary. I'm just understanding that I'm not going to keep running from it, because it helps people. It helps people for me to have this gift, because I've helped so many people, even with the the even with the amount of my gift that I allow people to see, I've still helped people. And if I would just allow myself to fully get there, I can help millions of people, and I just know that. And that's what God keeps pushing on my heart, which is why I feel like I'm so stuck, because I'm not trying to acknowledge that this is me. This is something that I was born to have, and I can't get rid of it. And I used to think that, that goes against free will. Like, God can't give you certain gifts and tell you that you have to have it and you can't get rid of it. And it's just like, that's not against free will. Free will means that you can turn against this gift all you want. Right? That's free will. You can ignore the gift, but it's gonna come back to you. What's destined is always going to come back to you. And I just wanted to speak on that, because again, it's hard to explain to people and get them to understand, because certain people have their views on this. They call it evil. They call it, psychic or fortune teller, when it's not that. Um, it's just you have a specific spiritual gift, and I wish we would all tap into ours, so that we would understand each other more, and understand that we're not crazy. We don't have mental disorders. We don't have certain things wrong about us. Certain people see things. Certain people hear things. Certain people just know things, and I'm finally okay with accepting it. And I know that from here on out, accepting it, you know, um, the gift is just gonna grow even more, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to, help people through this, because my gift isn't just for me. It's for there's a community of people waiting on me, and that's what God keeps reminding me, is that it's not for me. There's tons of people that are waiting for me to help them with their situation, to bring them back to God, to get them to understand that they're not alone. There's multiple people with this type of gift that they feel like no one understands them, and you speaking your truth and speaking your story will help them down the line. And I'm finally okay with it. I'm finally okay with acknowledging that. So if anybody needs to hear that, or just telling my story helped anybody, I hope that you tap into your gifts and understand that you're not alone, and we're all different for a reason. We all have these gifts for a reason. Tap into yours and really understand what God is trying to teach teach you through these gifts, and stop looking at it as such a curse when in fact it's a blessing. So yeah, that's all I really had to say about that. But I'm ready. I'm ready, God. I'm ready for this new chapter. I'm ready for, these gifts to help everybody, because I just know this community of people that I'm going to help, they're going to be brought back to God, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the stories they tell, of seeing my content and seeing me, pursue my passion and really tune into my gifts, and looking back and saying, wow, this girl's video encouraged me to get closer to God. This girl's video encouraged me to understand my gifts and really tap into them. So I hope everybody has a great day. Understand that God loves you. Understand that you're special for a reason. And stop ignoring what God is trying to tell you. Stop ignoring a piece of you, because you're you for a reason. So I love you and have a great day.